Thank you, Fernanda. Thank you, everyone, for attending this session with us. Just a second here. Okay. Yeah, it was just a message from Zoom here. So thank you guys for joining us. And thanks again, Fernanda, for having me. So today I will talk a little bit about preparation. As Fernanda mentioned, not only before applying for jobs, but also throughout the interview process. Hello, everyone. So if you do have any questions during the presentation, please share in the chat. And Fernanda will help me with the questions, and hopefully we can cover it all. So guys, can you guys see my screen? I will start the presentation. Okay, cool. Can you guys see my screen? All set? All right. So guys, today, as I mentioned, I will start telling you a little bit about the preparation for your international job hunting, and some pieces of advices for you guys to rock your next applications, interviews, and so on. So why this is important? I do have one-on-one calls with our Premium Academy members, and when I ask them why, what is challenging them in their international job hunting, those are the most common challenges they answer, right? So tech skills required, experiences, sometimes they do not have like 3, 4, 5 years of experience. Language barrier, English is mandatory for any applications, right? Not only at VanHack, but also in other platforms. The competition, lack of confidence, and so on. So first, I would like to hear from you guys. I wanted to hear what challenges do you have in your international job hunting? Let's see if you do have the same challenges or anything else that perhaps you have. Would you mind sharing the chat? I will go through some answers just to see what you guys. Can you share with me, Fernanda, perhaps? Not sure if
sure.
I can.
I'm going to read.
All right.
I'm actually sharing my comment. So I'm here reading a lot of no sponsorship, experience in terms of years of experience in coding, tech skills. I said for myself as lack of confidence, and I still struggle with that after 5 years in Canada. Tech skills, CV listing issues, visa, time is the primary reason. No visa. Yeah, most people are saying no visa.
No visa. Yeah. This
no
challenge.
That's a good one.
Yeah. This is why VanHack exists, right? So, I mean, we help you guys connect with those companies that are willing to sponsor you guys a visa. So, yeah, this is our difference from other platforms, hiring platforms and recruitment platforms. So, yeah, I think that you guys, most of you have the same challenges. And I mean, with the visa, I think that VanHack is one of the ways you can do to overcome this challenge, but you can also try different paths as well, right? But today I'm gonna share some tips regarding the recruitment processes. I mean, the normal ones that we have at VanHack. So this is why, I mean, preparation is important, right? To overcome those challenges that you guys might face in your international job hunting. Sometimes we hear some candidates like blaming companies or recruiters for not shortlisting them or considering their profiles. But have you guys thought about your individual process? I mean, sometimes it's not about recruiters or companies not considering you, but sometimes it's a matter of your profile or how you showcase your background and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go through some of the details about it, but this is something to keep in mind, right? So you can start applying for jobs without thinking about the process and the requirements, but perhaps you get stuck, right, at some point. So it's really important before starting applying, take some time to prepare yourself, identify areas for improvement, and how you can make your profile shine and so on. So first, it's important that you keep in mind your career expectations. Why? Because, I mean, especially at VanHack, our partners, they are willing to understand your career journey and what you guys have to show at the table, right? As well as they want you guys to keep growing in your career. So it's important that you understand your career expectations. What is the purpose of this international job hunting? So what are you looking for? What is your position target? What countries are you open to work in, right? Are you open to remote positions or not, just relocation? So it's important that you understand that before even start applying for jobs, because this is probably something that the companies will ask you in an interview, for example. So keep in mind your career expectations and your purpose. This must guide you in your decision making as well. So the second thing that is really, really important is the communication skills. So just a matter of fact, at VanHack, 95% of our VanHack hires, they have advanced or fluent English. So communication skills is really, really important. And it's not only about, oh, I do have advanced and fluent English, but do you know how to express yourself? Do you know how to tell your story or sell your experience to recruiters and companies? Because we do hear some candidates that they are fluent in English, for example, or that English is their native language, but sometimes they have a heavy accent and it's hard to understand in an interview what they are saying, or their language style is not appropriate to the business, right? To the interview or something like that. So it's important to take some notes about your communication skills. So the speaking part of it, you got to understand how you can be more confident while speaking, how you can develop your ideas, how you are telling your stories in the projects you worked with, or when you are telling perhaps a challenge you faced in your career. So how you tell that story, it's really important that you have a good way to communicate that. And as well, it's important to showcase your personality. So they want to understand who you are, not only as a professional, but perhaps as a person as well. So telling stories, right? It's important to develop your speaking skills, and also the writing skills are important, because I mean, when you are sending your profile or resume, you are writing about yourself. So writing your experiences in a good way will also bring to probably some advantage over others that do not have this skill well developed. So using assertive words, describing your background in a good way, matching some keywords that you're gonna see in the job requirements, writing a good summary. So the communication skills is like a combination of all those skills that I mentioned here. So this is really important when looking for an international job. And if you do have any challenges with the English skills, perhaps you should try some courses and so on to prepare yourself and get more confidence, right? The other part that, of course, you guys know a lot is about the tech skills, right? Another information from VanHack here, 86% of VanHack hires have at least one code test completed. this is important to keep in mind that some of our VanHackers hired, they got hired before we even had like the code test, right, Fernanda? So this is why it's just 86%, but nowadays we can see that the candidates that they do have the code verification on our platform, they immediately bumped up in the candidates list, right? Because international companies, they want to see some code samples to choose, I mean, the candidates they will interview or not. So this is a good way to showcase your background as well. And if, of course, there isn't any verification for your role or background, don't worry, okay, because it won't be asked, of course. So some numbers here, guys. Again, it's from our platform, right? The numbers I'm showing here from VanHack platform is not like a fact for the whole market in the world, but it's just like our market at VanHack. So 24% of our hiring positions are for backend developers. Then we have full stack developers, software developers, and from 10. So those are the top hiring positions, as well as those are the top hiring skills at VanHack. So Java, React, JavaScript, Ruby on Rails, .NET, and so on. We hear a lot, or we receive a lot of questions about the skills on demand in Canada or Europe. A tip that I have, guys, for you when identifying those skills is just checking their job requirements, right? Check the job positions you applied for or you would apply for, and see if your profile supports in terms of technical skills. So you can identify the most common skills required. And if not, what is it that is missing under your profile that you don't have experience? Or perhaps you have just 1 year of experience. Perhaps you can do a side project to acquire these skills. Are you open to acquire those skills? So this is also important to ask yourself, right? This is a good exercise, guys, to keep building a strong and focused profile, right? So let's go through the international job hunting. Think of the job search as a funnel, right? So we have the application, then if you go through the interviews, and then the final one, the job offers or relocation, if it's like a company that's sponsoring you a visa. So let's start by the application part of it. It's important to keep in mind that it's not about the number of applications, but about the focus on your career expectations and your position target. We have some that they apply for a lot of jobs, and sometimes if you check the job requirements and you go to the VanHacker profile, their profiles do not support the application. So why applying for those jobs, right? So it's important that you guys take a look at the job requirements and see if it supports the application. You see that 61% of VanHack hires applied for just 1 to 25 jobs only, and they got hired. So they were probably really focused. They had a profile well designed and focused on the position target, right? So it's really important that you keep it in mind. Go ahead, Fernanda.
I want to bring you a point because we're having a lot of questions in the chat about.
All right.
So let me start with something before, and then I can talk about the reason why I interrupted you right now.
Sure, go ahead.
If you do have any questions about the code challenge or English verification, I highly recommend you to look in the platform later and read the frequent asked questions. You have all this information there, but I'm typing a few answers. But I guess in this one, Camila, if you can expand on that. I heard a few people saying that I've applied for 5 jobs, I've applied for 25 jobs, I got no interview, no feedback, I got one interview. So I think it's very important for us to be mindful that this is a business where we earn money off getting people hired. So if by one split second you think that we are trying to make it harder for you, that means that we are not going to make any money in the end of the month. So it's exactly the other way around. We want you to get hired, we want you to get interviews, but it's not easy. It's not like we have 10 companies and just one candidate. It's like we have 100 positions to 74,000 clients. So it's a lot of people. And it's more about your effort and your time and your ability to adapt, adjust, reinvent, restructure, rephrase, and engage, than actually VanHack trying to make it easier or harder for you. So I guess this is extremely important to emphasize. We want to help, but it's not easy.
Yes, and that's why I'm telling you guys this path of preparation, right? Because we do have some hackers that they spend like 1 year preparing themselves before even start applying for jobs. So it's a journey, right? And it's not about VanHack not considering you at all. It's about VanHack selecting 5 candidates or shortlisting 5 candidates in a pool of 200, 300 applicants for a position, one position, right? So you gotta keep it in mind as well. So, so yeah, recruiters at your VanHack profile, they want to access your strength as well as understand your job applications and your focus over there, right? Because our partners, they are willing to sponsor someone a visa, wait for them to arrive in their country, pay a very competitive salary. So they want a senior, a consistent, a focused candidate, right? And how do you showcase that under your VanHack profile? Because the profile is the first contact companies or recruiters have with you. So perhaps you gotta change a little bit your profile because you're not showcasing how good you are or how good you are regarding your technical skills or the projects you were involved with, and how those projects connect with the job requirements. So this is why it's important that you guys look at your VanHack profile as a marketing tool. It's not only about describing a list of tech skills that you have. It's about writing down about the background you have, the projects you were involved with, how you were involved in those projects. So you started working this project at the beginning until the end. You led a project. What kind of achievements you had with those activities? So stop doing, start achieving, right? So describe a little bit about some indicators and how the project were important for the company, and perhaps some business numbers if it's possible, some indicators to highlight those skills, right? So as I said, don't just add just a list of tech skills. Describe more about your background, your experiences, showcase career progression. And this tip for the STAR methodology, you guys, we do have a lot of webinars or content about it, right, Fernanda? And this is a great tool to help you guys writing about your experiences under your profile, right? So, and again, this is an ongoing activity. It's not fixed. So you apply for a position today, perhaps tomorrow you will start working in a different side project, for example, and then you can add this experience to your profile. Or perhaps tomorrow you see another job position that requires a different skill that you do have this experience, but it's not described in our VanHack profile. And then remember to add this information, right? So go back and forth to your profile to keep it up to date. Okay, so yeah, those are the questions that I always like to do. So guys, does your profile support your application? Is it clear that you have the experience required? Or what does it look like compared to the job requirements? Because we hear a lot of that. I mean, I do have the experience required, and recruiters are not shortlisting me. And when we check their profiles, I mean, we cannot understand that you do have this experience. So how we are not here like imagining your background. So it's important that you really describe this information, okay? There are many, many methodologies to help you guys with that. We do have some Premium Academy members here. Remember that you can request your profile review to help you out, highlighting areas for improvement and how you can do that to extend your profile out. So those are just pieces of tips for you guys regarding the profile and application. Application is also about networking, right? So VanHack is one platform for you guys to apply for jobs, but we do have a lot of other resources out there. So you do have LinkedIn. You can apply for jobs directly in the company's website. If you see like a company that you're dreaming to work over there, why not applying? Why not giving it a try? So you can use our resume template to do that. We do have a great resume template. We're hearing from lots of hackers that this one is getting really good on job applications. So you can use our template to apply for jobs. Attend hiring events, attend webinars, go to some Slack groups, network around. So networking is also important for job applications. It's not just applying and waiting. It's about going around, checking the recruiters, perhaps on LinkedIn, checking the details over there, and so on. There are lots of resources for you guys to go through the application. And then, okay, you got invited for interviews. Now it's the second step of preparation, because interview is not easy. You receive a lot of comments about that. And Alina, our recruiter, said in one of the webinars we had before, right, Fernanda, that ideally you should be preparing for interviews even before, or even if you don't have any interview scheduled yet. Because once you get an interview request, I mean, you are ready, right? You don't have to, you are confident. You will be assertive by showcasing your experiences, telling your story, and so on. So start your preparation while you are still just applying for jobs, or not even applying for jobs yet. So those are some comments I received for some of our Premium Academy members, and why preparing for interviews were important for them. So yeah, this helped them practicing and making some mistakes before a real interview, right? Because while you are practicing, you can make some mistakes. They could understand how deeply companies are evaluating technical skills, or they improve their communication skills and how they presented themselves, or they increase their confidence while speaking, while showcasing themselves. And they learn as well ways, different perspectives and ways to solve the same problem. Because, for example, in a technical interview, sometimes you have to speak your mind, right? It's not only like coding over there in front of a camera or something. You gotta tell the interviewer what you are doing, why you are doing that, and develop the idea and communicate that. So this is why it's important to prepare yourself, not only in your technical skills, but also how you communicate that during the interview. So you do know that most of the companies that will have pretty much those steps of interview. So the behavioral, which is like the cultural fit, they will understand your motivations. They will understand why you chose that company. Perhaps they will ask you why you are leaving your current position, or what's your career expectations? The first question I asked you guys. So those are the questions that you might face in a behavior interviews. And of course, there are a lot of many questions, and we do have some webinars and other resources to help you. And then you're going to the technical interview, right? So perhaps it's a live coding, perhaps it's just like a technical review or a take-home assessment. Each company has its own set of requirements, and they will guide you through the technical part of it. And then you have the final round, right? Perhaps you chat with the CEO of the company. Most of the startups, they will have this step. So I had this step when I was interviewing for this position at VanHack. So I had 15 minutes chat with Ilya, our CEO. So this is how companies are here to understand you. Understand if you are a cultural fit for the company, if you are a good candidate. And then, guys, you know that at VanHack, we do have some resources to help you with that. So we offer some mock interviews if you are doing some interviews through VanHack, right? So to help with the preparation. But I mean, it's on you guys to start like preparing yourselves. And last but not least, about interviews, practice makes permanent. Aline is our interview advisor at VanHack. She's also leading the mock interview team. And she was one of our Premium Academy instructors, right? And she always say that practice makes permanent. So, okay, let's go through the last one, the last step here in your international job hunting. When you finally receive a job offer and you are preparing your relocation. So some tips, guys, some information here about that. This is the average salary we have in our platform. I mean, considering the 1,000 candidates hired through VanHack, right? So for relocation, it's 90 Canadian dollars per year, right? Remember that they work with this type of salaries. 60 Canadian dollars for remote positions, and also 50 for European market. So this is just some piece of information for you guys preparing yourselves for the job offer. And then this information is really interesting because, I mean, this is the world's top relocation destinations, and Canada is now the first one, the top list, right? And followed by US, Australia, and so on, and also some European countries, right? We are expanding our market in Europe, so you guys can see that we not only have some positions in Canada, but also in Germany, UK, France, and so on, Portugal. So yeah, you can consider Europe as a destination as well if you want to. Most US companies, especially at VanHack, as far as I'm seeing, they will offer just remote positions. I mean, at VanHack, most of the positions I've seen. So the top 5 hiring cities. This is also considering VanHack platform, okay, guys? So Vancouver, Toronto, Winnipeg, Saskatoon, Calgary. So you can search for those cities if you perhaps are open to, because we received some questions like, oh, I do want to live in Toronto, and I just want some, I mean, positions in Toronto. I mean, is it just Toronto? I mean, perhaps you can open your mind to other cities to get started, and then you can move to Toronto, right? So open your minds for that. And last device here. We do have some candidates as well that they are not open for remote positions, but guys, now we have 6% of VanHack hires for our remote positions. So perhaps because of this pandemic, you can give it a try. This can be your first step before the relocation, right? So perhaps you can give it a try. Why not? So be open, all right? And last but not least, be a full stack job hunter. You see, guys, it's a lot of preparation, a lot of information. You need to prepare yourself, and it's a journey. It's not like just, okay, now I decided that I need a job abroad. Okay, I'll start applying for jobs and that's it. No, you got to prepare your profile, your resume. If you apply for a position in a company's website, perhaps they will ask you a cover letter. So you got to prepare the cover letter as well, right? And then you receive the interviews invitations. And how are you prepared for interviews? I heard that some hackers, they just jumped from a company to another as referrals, right? And then never gone through any interviews before. So prepare for interviews. And then you can move on to the job offers and so on, right? So that's it, guys. Hope it was helpful for you. If you do have any questions, this is my email. All right. Go ahead, Fernanda.
No, I want to say that I was trying not to interrupt you. So I saved most of the questions here. We have many. But then if you just want to share your contact and then I can read, it's up to you.
Yeah, no, that's it from my side. We can hear the questions and perhaps discuss a little bit with the guys. Yeah, go ahead. That's it.
People are thanking you for the knowledge and sharing a lot of questions, but I'm going to share a few that I read and saved here. So Fernan asked, Camila, I'm not sure if it's related, but any tips for qualifying for the upcoming virtual hiring event?
Okay, so the upcoming, well, first of all, we have some requirements, right? So if I'm not mistaken, 7 years of experience, English verification, code assessment, and so on. The first thing is preparing your VanHack profile, right? Because this will be the first place where our team will check if you are a good fit for the upcoming positions for this hiring event. So take a look at your VanHack profile, see if you filled all the sections, all of them, right? Check your experience section, if you described your background in a good way over there, if it's clear about the type of projects you were involved with, what kind of companies you worked with. Was it like a service company, a consulting, or perhaps, yeah, I don't know. Guys, make sure that it's all over there. And if you do have any side projects, our recruiters love side projects as well, and companies. And check the requirements, right? So this is also important. Check. We do have a list of the hired, like the skills on higher demand, right, Fernanda, for this hiring event. Check if you do have those skills, and if you have it, highlight that under your VanHack profile. And you still have some time. If you don't have any code test, you still have some time to do that. The English verification as well. So this is the time to prepare for the profile. And then if you are invited for the hiring event, it's time for you to work on your speech, on your elevator pitch, on telling your story and how you will sell your background to the companies and recruiters, right? So the interview preparation.
I loved your way to phrasing it. So it's like I said here that looking for a job, it's a full-time job where it asks everything of you, and you never know when we went or if it'll work out. Like
Yes.
you just keep trying. Then I guess the second part is like dividing your time. Like you said, now it's the profile time. Probably already have your English. If you have your VanHack English verification, it's the first step. Then your profile, then preparing for the interview, researching for the companies, and so on and so forth. I think that's a very good way to phrase it. And just keep your eyes open on our event, because right now the hiring event is about having more than 7 years with a specific skills, but it might have another one very soon with different things.
Yeah, probably. We are always planning something new, right? So if you do not have the requirements for this specific hiring event, I mean, don't worry, because we will have more opportunities for you guys.
Yeah.
And you can even keep applying in our job board, right? So we still have some positions openings every week.
I'm getting a lot of messages through the chat that are very specific to a specific skill, to a specific topic. I think just in order to make sure that we are mindful of everyone's time and finishing on time, I'm gonna leave that for the end if it's not something that can help everyone. So I saved a few here that it can actually help everyone. Everton, I got that you have your hands up. If you can type your question, I can read for you just to make it easier. But the other one that I think that it can help a lot of people, that people ask a lot, is that when you spoke about salary, in your opinion, what do you think? You think that it's a bad or a good sign to ask for less or more money? What is your opinion when it comes to the salary average?
I mean, it depends on how many years of experience you have in your own country, right? So if you do have more than perhaps 10 years of experience or so, you can search on the internet. There are some websites that I can send later that you can check the average salary for your specific role, for example. And I mean, you can say to you, when you get there to the job offer, you can say that you are open or perhaps flexible with, I mean, what they have to offer, right? And I mean, this is what you are looking for, but perhaps you are open for that, for negotiation. So it depends on how many years of experience you have, how much companies are paying for your role in a specific country. So you can search, there's a lot of websites with this kind of information. Also Glassdoor, I think that you can check this information really over there, right, Fernanda? So yeah, search a lot before, and then you can say that you are open, that you are flexible as well, if the company is willing to perhaps like offer you less than you expected, and you are really open to that, they will understand.
I guess I can add a personal opinion on that, which is, honestly, we are living in a time where everything is unpredictable. So if there is a sign in there, it would be a good sign in my point of view, because the company is trying to save money. And let's say that you are going to start working remotely, which means that you're going to receive a salary in Canadian or euros, but in your home country. That's a huge difference. So maybe if you say, I'm willing to accept this lower salary for the first 6 months, and then we can renegotiate, that can actually increase your chances with someone else that it's in the city. Or what about we do a trial for a year and then we can talk about relocation, and then when we relocated we revisit the salary because it's going to be a different scenario. I think that if something, this is a positive, if the position you applied is 100% remote, which means that they're not going to relocate you anytime in the future, this is for sure better in my opinion, because they're already trying to save money and you're going to be helpful, like without lowering your own abilities, just being honest.
If it's not relocation, definitely you can search your own country, I mean, salary range as well. So you can consider this for remote positions.
Yeah,
definitely.
I got another question here. That it's going to be very hard to answer. So you can just nod or give your opinion or share your thoughts, which is about COVID. I got 3 questions. I'm going to try to combine into one. But if we as VanHack can share the impact of COVID on VanHackers, and on top of that, what is the current situation about the pandemic when it comes to international hiring as a whole and relocation? If what are the impacts on relocation or not?
So yeah, last year we had a huge impact, right, at VanHack, at relocation. Lots of companies, they stopped their hiring process because of the pandemic, and then they started to reopen the positions. Some of them, they decided to start with the position remote, right? So you can start working remotely, and then they will offer you the relocation package. I mean, some companies are still doing that. So they are offering you a remote position to get started, perhaps for 3 months, and then you can start your relocation package, because you can start working for the company at the moment, I mean, you accept the offer and so on, and they do not have to wait all the process that is taking a little bit long. But now it's not that long anymore, right, Fernanda? So we are seeing a lot of hackers moving during the pandemic because they received an offer last year, for example, and they already moved to Canada. So it really depends on the companies and how they're dealing. Yeah, but some of them, they will offer you that you can start remotely, and perhaps during like 3 months remote, and then you can start the relocation process, the visa, and so on. So this is pretty much what is happening. But I mean, companies are hiring a lot. So you can see that I like in the job notification channel that we have a lot of openings. So yeah, they are all hiring again.
Yeah, I guess
last year we had a huge impact at the beginning of the pandemic, definitely.
Yeah, I guess the only predictable thing that we know that had an impact that we can for sure say that we understand is that because of the longer and unknown period of time between hiring, working remotely, and getting to the home country, companies are now considering people who have a closer time zone, like the difference from time zone, it's lesser. So I saw in the beginning of the workshop where someone mentioned, oh, I'm not seeing a lot of people from India getting hired. I have to agree with that, but it's not about cultural opinion or anything. It's about time zone. So if you get an interview, make sure to say if you're okay to working night time and working on Canadian working time zone until you get relocated. We had a few candidates from India. I forgot her name, but she just arrived in Canada, I think about a month ago, and she said it was pretty hard to be like for 6 months working night and sleeping during the day. But now that she's here was work. So it's more about making sure that you can be online on the time zone for the company. So this can make it easier. I guess that's the only piece that I noticed over and over and over and over again from hiring managers, right? Um, I got some questions here that are very personal. We still have 10 minutes, so I'm going to read, but try, Camila, if you can answer in a way that it can bring value to everyone, I think it would be nice. So Everton asked, maybe a challenge is to build consistent network to share our skills and show how we can help organizations. In this case, it is interesting to contact the company before, sending more information such as code, video, papers, or something like that. Moreover, in terms of advanced education, such as PhD, is it important or more important certifications such as Java, Architect, and so on?
So regarding the certifications, I think it depends on the role. I think that most like machine learning or positions like that, some of the companies, they do require, for example, master's degree or something. But yeah, depends on the role. But if it's like a backend or a full stack position, I'm not seeing this kind of requirements. They will just evaluate your technical skills and your technical background, right? So if you do have like 5-6 years of experience in Java, or for a specific, market perhaps that you're looking for. So this is the kind of things that will go through your profile. So the other question was regarding so sending some information to the company, right?
Those papers, yes.
Yeah, if they do have this space in their website that you can share your resume or something, even if they do not have any openings right now, you can do that, definitely. Most of the companies, I don't think that most of them, but some companies, they do have this space in which you can upload a resume, or you can say that you are interested to work with them, even if they do not have any openings right now for your role. So if they do have this type of area in their website, you can definitely do that. If they do not, and they have like an opening for your role, you can apply, of course, with the job, and perhaps you can try to find the person on LinkedIn and connect over there and send a message on LinkedIn and say, hey, I applied for this position, and you say the name of the position. And I'm really interested to working with you. I do have this experience that is a good match for what you are looking for. And then you can do your sales pitch, right? But never at all send just a message, hey, I applied.
For example, job. Can you give
I'm looking for, yes, never do that, guys, because they receive a lot of messages. Recruiters at VanHack as well, they receive a lot of messages on Slack saying, hey, I applied for this position, and this doesn't mean anything, right? So if you are sending them a message, please structure a good one and say why you are a good match for the position, that you do have the requirements they are looking for, and you have like an example of a project you worked with to highlight your skills, right? So yeah, I would say this is a good strategy for that.
I loved your answer. Like, build your portfolio in every platform you can. I guess that's kind of like a summary of everything you said in detail. LinkedIn, the company itself, Facebook, Instagram. You can go as creative as you want, but that's a nice way to put it.
And if you search for the companies, I mean, LinkedIn and other social media and so on, you have more information about the company, about their cultural style, and this will help you have some information to add while you are being interviewed as well. So, I mean, if they ask you something about the company, you can correlate things, right? You can say, oh, I saw this post that is said something regarding, I don't know, some market, and I do like this market. I don't know. So you can tell a story because you are really interested in and you saw something special in their social media and so on. So this is a good strategy to answer properly on interviews.
Great. We still have a few minutes, so I'm gonna, instead of asking the questions, I'm gonna just kind of answer in a way. We got a lot of questions about visa. So I'm gonna try to answer for you in a way that we, when it comes to visa, it's not with Camila and I. We had a team prepared for that. We will help you as soon as you get the job. Questions about BCPNP, like provincial visa, moving to Canada as a student before actually getting a job. Those are not our target here. So I can send you the link for the Canadian immigration website, but it's not exactly related to VanHack, and it's hard for us to give you an opinion. So that's the reason I skipped a few of those questions. Working remotely can be full-time or part-time. I don't think we have many part-times. I think almost all of our positions are full-time. I saw a few frustration comments like, oh, my English verification, I can only take after a month, my code challenge after 3 months. I understand that a lot of that can be frustrating, but this is a hiring company. So we create the rules according to what we saw that works best. We are always, VanHack is probably the only recruiting agents that ask for feedbacks, but it's important to know that we have a lot of feedbacks, a lot of experience. So we try to combine all of that and do the best we can. So I'm sorry, but it's the way it is. I appreciate your time and your comments. But for sure, that's something that we might not change, or we might change with time. I got a few questions about taxes. Great question. I have no idea. I don't even know where to suggest you to get that reply. What I do know, because one of the questions was about Brazil, what I do know is that we have some Brazilian accountants in Canada. Just Google Indian accountants living in Canada, Brazilian accountants in Canada, and maybe they can help you out. But honestly, I don't even have a resource for that. I don't even know what to guess. Maybe Camila, if you have any insight on that, I think that you can.
Yeah, because it's a different type of contract that you have, probably as a contractor. So this type of contract I have with VanHack, for example. So you can search on the internet, working as a contractor, what should I do? And then, you can check the information regarding your own country, because it depends on the country. It's different from one country to another. So yeah, I'll definitely check it out for remote positions, because it's a different type of contract you have with the company.
Nice. I guess I covered most of them. Oh, we just got one that it's interesting. If I get a working visas, can I bring our immediate family? I guess that's a good point. Yes, you can. It depends. What do you consider immediate family? I'm sure that husband and kids, yes. Other type of family, I'm not sure. Yeah. And go ahead, Camila. I know you have a big surprise, and I don't want to be super late.
No, that's fine. First, I just wanted to share this with you guys, because We are always looking for improvements and new features and new services to help you guys with your international job hunting. And we launched this survey last week to better understand your expectations, your current positions, and so on. So if you guys can answer the survey, will definitely help us understand the challenges you face and so on, and think about ways to help you guys with your international job hunting, right? So this is the first thing that I wanted to ask you guys if you can answer that. I also shared yesterday on Slack, so you can get the link over there, but this is the link for the survey. And for those that are not members of our Premium Academy, and if you do need some help with your preparation, we will send a special discount for you guys that joined us today. If you want to join our premium community and start your preparation game, right? So I've seen that we have some familiar faces here, some members around. But yeah, for those that are not members yet, if you want to join us, just to keep in mind that this is an educational platform, okay? So Premium Academy is not about granting you advantage over applications. You do not have any advantage. It's about educating yourself, helping with the profile review, interview preparation. We have some classes, weekly classes, live sessions for you guys to prepare yourself, and other resources to help with your international preparation. And I will send you an email with a special discount if you guys want to join us. All right. And last but not least, next week, if you guys want to join us for the technical interview preparation, we have an open class with our members of our Premium Academy. So we will open one of our classes for everyone in our community to join us and get a little taste about the classes and network with other VanHackers, and also, of course, practice for a international technical interview. Okay, so you can apply on our website. If you go to our events page, the event is already there. You can apply there, and I hope to see you guys over there. So yeah, that's it from my side, Fernanda. Thank you again, guys. Those are my contacts. So if you do have any other questions, anything else that you can share, that you want to share with me, you can email me or send me a Slack message. And I hope to see you guys around, and hope you all succeed in your journey. Thank you again.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. It was great. And yes, you can access to this video. Probably tomorrow I'll be sending out an email with the recording and the promo. So thank you for being here, and I hope to see you all the time on our Premium Academy.
Amazing. Yeah, hope to see you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.